Are we live? Are we live? Welcome to the Moxi Skates YouTube channel. I'm Estro Jen, and I'm going to be teaching you how to roller skate from the comfort of my driveway. This class is geared towards intermediate beginners. So you already know some basics, and we're going to build on the basics that we taught you last week. We're going to go through 6 skills today. We're going to learn how to step and put weight into our wheels and our toe stops. We're going to learn how to jump. We're going to learn how to jump and turn. Then we're going to jump, turn on our stops and our wheels. Then we're going to go into some fun moonwalking and spinning on our toe stops. I am per usually nervous. We're going to first find a happy place. That's what we really need right now. Every day has been totally crazy since quarantine, and it's just getting crazier and crazier. So something that I like to do before I start skating is ask my body and my mind if I'm ready to skate. So what I like to do is I need to find a happy place. I know that may sound silly, but you don't want to find, most people that I would ask, at least in my life, like, what's your happy place? They would say skating, and they would think of some time that would remind them of feeling happy skating. But since we're trying to prepare our mind and our body to go skating, we actually need to think of something non-related to skating. So what I like to do is think about this time. You can close your eyes so that the senses can come faster to you. Really focus on this happy place. And I like to think about this time where I was at summer camp, and at summer camp at Woodward East, I used to work there when I was a teenager, and they have these like rolling hills, and I would ride my bicycle on these hills, and I would listen to Radiohead, and I just remember feeling so gleeful, like so excited, riding my bike down these hills. And now that I've found that place, I'm going to really focus on how my body feels. So when I'm on these hills, like whether I'm charging up or coasting down, my body is really relaxed. And I'm so happy. I'm like looking at the sky and looking at the pastures and just like wondering how like incredible, like what did I do to be so lucky to be able to experience this awesome sensation of feeling so happy right now. And I can easily check in there because I practice it all the time. But if you can check into that really happy place, then you're ready to learn new stuff skating. So we're going to go through a quick warm-up to get our bodies really ready now that our minds are there. And every time I start skating, I do this swinging motion here. And I use my arms to just generate some twisting momentum. Okay, and then when your spine feels really comfortable, we're going to warm up our ankles and our quads and our hamstrings by doing some jumps. So we're going to be doing a lot of jumps today. I think those are my neighbors. They are my neighbors. They're busy. All right, so we're going to jump. And I want you to just first, like, warm up your knees and your ankles by doing some rolls on your ankles and your knees. And then go in the other direction. All right, now we're ready to jump. So our knees are our shock absorbers, and they're what is going to help us find the most balance whenever we're doing like dramatic weight shifts. So I want you to just bend, like pretend that you're a spring, and you're gonna squish the spring really tight, and you're gonna leave lifting at the heels and leaving on the balls and landing on the balls of your feet. Use your arms to generate the upward momentum. And like really exaggerate the landing. And then I want you to go stagger your feet as you're doing this. Okay, now I want you to jump 90 degrees, turning with your head in the jump. Turn your head first. Now let's go in the other direction. All right, I feel a little warm. So I'm gonna have a sip of water. Okay. Now we're gonna do some capoeira steps. So you're just gonna step forward and then take that same foot and step behind you. And then we're working with 5 feet of space here. So you're gonna step forward and back. And your arms are gonna twist in the opposite direction that your knees are stepping. All right. These are really fun to do if you've got a lot of room. But for right now, they're really great to do to warm up our twisting torso and spine. All right, let's put our skates on. If you've got a lot of furniture around or you're used to skating with pads, put all your pads and your helmet on. How are they doing? Anyone have any questions yet? You can type back to them. All right, when you're putting your skates on, you want to make sure that they're nice and snug, starting at the very bottom. Then when you're lacing, you want to go up and over the hooks to preserve the hooks. As the leather stretches and conforms to the shape of your foot, you're going to want to start like really tightening them more. And you just want to be really careful to preserve the hooks. Okay, every time, I like to double bow my skates. And then every time I put my skates on, I make sure that my toe stops are secure, and they are. And these are just stock lolly skates. So, well, actually, I'm wrong. I put brake pedal toe stops on them. They're stock lollies except for the brake pedals. And yeah, I do like to put my finger inside the Moxi to pull them up. And then these are skater socks. Those are the socks that I love to wear. They are made in America, along with the skates. And I actually just remembered I have to call him back today. Sorry, Evan. All right, I'm almost laced up. And the first 4 steps that we are going to be learning, the first 4 moves we're learning today can be done on carpet or a grass patch. All right. Feeling good. Make sure you are nowhere near any furniture. So this intermediate beginners class, you should feel comfortable standing on your wheels. All right. Step 1, we are going to learn to put weight into our toe stops and into our wheels. So we're already here with weight in our wheels. So we've got 2 skates with wheels on them. We're comfortable here. We have a micro bend in the knees. We always have a micro bend in the knees. Our head, knees, and toe always wants to be in alignment for great balance. Now we're going to put our weight, keep our weight into one side. So shift your body weight into one side. I'll do it this way. And then put a toe stop down. Now I want you to just shift your body weight into the toe stop, taking the weight out of the wheels, and then put it back into the wheels. All right, now we're going to switch. So shift the body weight into the wheels, put the toe stop down, We're going to shift the body weight into the toe stop and bring it back to the wheels. Good. Now just continuously shift the body weight into the toe stop, but put most of the weight into the wheels. So we're just shifting back and forth, wheels and toe stops. Good. All right, so we're alternating. We're just getting comfortable and familiar with what the toes, like what it feels like to put weight into the toe stops. Take the weight out of the toe stops and put the weight into the wheels. Just warming that up right now. Okay, now I want you to put all your weight into the toe stops. So I want you to stagger your stance, one foot in front of the other, whichever one is more comfortable. And I want you to put the weight into the front foot, and on the back foot, put your toe stop down. Good. Now bring the front foot a little closer and put the other toe stop down. Good. You should be able to balance on your toe stops here. Can you do it? All right, now I want you to just repeat that over and over again until you're comfortable putting the weight into the toe stops and then back into the wheels. Now, if you can do that, and that's easy, you can make little steps forward and backwards onto the toe stops. See if you can travel forwards, travel backwards. Good. Now go back to wheels. Shake it out. All right. So we really want to know how to put weight into our stops and back onto our wheels and alternate for all of the next steps that we're going to go into. All right. Next, we're going to learn how to jump. So a jump is a two-footed step on all wheels. And in order to jump, you want to keep head, knee, and toe in alignment. So your head is out over your knees, in a line with your knees or a little bit over your knees. If I were to slow motion a jump, I would be lifting my heels, driving my body weight through the balls of my feet to lift my knees into the air, and then landing on balls and heels with my knees in a generous bend. So our power center for skating is the balls of our feet. Go ahead and swing your arms back and forth. You should be lifting your hands and knees into the air at the same time. All right, take a break. So that is a two-footed step or jump on wheels. So we're not using the toe stops at all for just a regular plain old jump. Our knees are always bent, they're never locked. You can bring the knees even closer, but really make sure that you're landing in a knee bend to get that nice springy, balanced feeling. All right. Now we're going to learn how to jump and turn. So we're not adding stops or we're not adding toe stops or brakes to this. We're just jumping and turning. I like to jump and turn to my right, but most of my friends like to jump and turn to the left. So pick your side. A good way to decide which way you want to go is by just doing it on the ground without skates on. Which one are you more comfortable jumping and turning in the air with? Or you could have a friend push you from behind, not on your skates, and whichever foot you land forward is usually the direction that you're going to want to spin in. So if someone were to push me from behind, my dominant foot would be my right, and then I would jump to my right. All right, so we're going to jump and turn. We're going to start with just 90-degree turns. So I'm going to go to my right, and I'll demonstrate both. All spinning and jumping all spinning and turning starts with your head. So it's where your eyes are looking is where your shoulders will, where your eyes go is where your shoulders will go. And then when you put your upper body on a twist at the torso like that, then your pelvis bone and your knees and then your skates will jump in that direction. So you really don't want to jump with your feet, you want to jump with your eyes. So we're just going to step into the 90. So stepping into the 90-degree turn, you're going to look 90 degrees away from where your feet are pointed. And then you're going to step there. So that's 90 degrees. Look and step. Look, step. Look, step. Okay, now we're going to jump. So you're going to look and jump there. Look, jump. Look. And you want to look on a deep knee bend and then lift your body into the air. Look, jump. Okay, let's go left. And if you've already got this down, practice the opposite direction because it makes you a well-rounded skater, knowing how to do everything both ways. So I'm looking left, jumping left. Looking left, jumping left. Look, jump. Look, jump. Okay, now we're going to do 180-degree turns. And the way that you want to do this is you want to look, just like we did with the 90 degrees. You want to look in the direction that you want to land in. So 90 degrees is the opposite way that my toes are facing. So I look at 180, I do a nice generous knee bend, and then jump, landing in a nice knee bend, and I jump to where my finger's pointing. You can use your hand as a guide, or you can just twist and use something on the wall. Like right now, there's a camera in front of me and a spot here, a leopard printed spot. So these are spots in dance. So the camera is my spot and the leopard printed spot is my spot. So we're gonna look and point and then jump there, landing in a nice knee bend. If I were to go left, I would look and point, jump there. Look, jump. Look, jump. So practice your favorite direction a few times. And then practice your opposite direction a few times. All right. So that is jumping and turning, stepping and turning. Now we're going to add the toe stops. So I'm going to move my grass patch out of the way. All right. So for some of us that just went to a smooth area, I'm just going to review, actually. Before we move into the jumping onto the stops, I'm just going to review the jumps. So, woo, yeah, good time to review and get used to the wheels. So for 90 degrees, I'm going to look and then jump, landing in a nice knee bend. Look, jump. I like to use my arms for momentum and balance. I'm going to go the opposite direction, looking to the left over my left shoulder, jump, using my hands and my arms to swing and find balance, generate momentum and find balance. All right, 180 degrees. So I'm going to look 180 degrees, jump to 180. This works for all jump turns. We're going to go left, a nice generous knee bend, lift the knees into the air, look at the spot, land at the spot. Look at the spot, land at the spot. All right, now let's move on to the next step, which is jumping and turning to the toe stops. So we're going to want to jump and land in a stagger and in a very generous knee bend. So we're going to maybe just push with a little momentum. You're going to look behind you, because that's our goal, is to turn 180 degrees. We're going to land on the wheels and then stagger into the toe stops. So this is a really great way. You don't want to start jumping to the toe stops. You want to get used to going to the stops after you stagger, because it's quite difficult to find balance when your feet are close to each other and you're jumping there. So you're going to push and get a little bit of momentum. Look at the spot, jump, stagger, then go to your toe stops. Do that again. So this, actually, I'll do it this way. I like to look and then follow. So we're going to get a little bit of momentum. I'm going to look at the camera, get into a nice knee bend, jump, stagger after I land, and then hit the toe stops. Okay, let's do it to the left, because I know most of my friends go left. So I'm going to push off with, actually, I'll just start this way. Push off with the left. I'm going to look behind myself. On a nice, generous knee bend, I'm going to jump, turn 180 degrees, landing in a nice knee bend, go to stagger, and then hit my toe stops. So jump onto the wheels, stagger, toe stops. Jump onto the wheels, stagger, and toe stop. All right, going to the left this way, push off, look at the camera, jump, toe stop. Once you have that down, you're going to get more comfortable and then kind of blend things together so that you can stop more dramatically. I think that most stopping motions on skates require the wheels, and I just feel like, going to the toe stops is the most efficient way to stop. So you really want to learn how to turn, jump, and be really comfortable on these toe stops, because it really is a very quick way to stop. All right. I think I'm going to just check the chat and see how everybody's doing. Oh, sorry, everyone. All right, I love all the questions about up and downhill, but right now we're just focusing on flat ground techniques. So going downhill is one of my favorite things to do, but we're not going to be covering it now. But since you asked, I should let you know that the way that I control my speed going downhill is by slaloming. So you want to draw smiley faces all the way down the hill, starting on one side, dipping down the hill, and then going up. Because once you start to skate uphill, gravity is going to stop you. And then if you tighten up the smiley faces, it starts to turn into a nice slalom. Another way to slow down is by way of snowplow, like you would on skis. So that's spreading your feet apart from each other, turning your toes inward, and you always want to keep your weight on one side. So I like to snowplow with a nice sturdy side all aligned on one side, so that if for some reason it was harder to pivot onto the ball of my foot on the weightless foot, I would always have this side all together and I wouldn't be like straddling down, or falling. Because you really want to have your head, knee, and toe in alignment and all weight shifted to one side when you're doing most movements in skating, especially stopping. So like with the T-stop, you've got head, knee, and toe in alignment, you're dragging this back foot. With the snowplow, you've got head, knee, and toe in alignment, and you're pivoting on the outside foot here. With the power slide, you do the 180 turn, and you've got head, knee, and toe in alignment here, and then your back foot here. is the weightless one that you're shifting the weight into. So there's a lot of different ways to stop. Most of them rely on your wheels and pivoting. And I would say that the Snowplow and Power Slide are advanced moves. And since this is beginner class, beginner intermediate, the going to your toe stops is the most efficient way of stopping. And if I were going downhill and I wasn't like blazing, like going as fast as I possibly could, and I had time to jump 180 and go to my stops, I would use it. But if I didn't, I would slow myself down first by slaloming. There was another great question on there, but I forget it, so we're going to move on. I apologize. After the next two moves that we learned, I'm going to go back onto the chat and really get into all the questions that you put out there. So put them up into the chat, and I'll answer your questions after. All right, move number 5. We are learning how to moonwalk. So at this point, we should be comfortable knowing the difference between putting weight into our wheels and into our stops. We should be comfortable putting the weight into both toe stops and knowing the difference of the weight shift of going into all wheels and all toe stops. We should be in a very staggered stance. So the more surface area you're covering, the more balanced you'll feel. The closer your feet are together, the less balanced you feel. So we really want, when we're learning new moves, and the moonwalk requires this, make sure you're in a nice staggered stance. I remember that question now. I'll get to that. Remember that all moves start with the head. If you start thinking about adjusting your feet, it's just not, it's really, our wheels have momentum in them already that we can't control because they have wheels on our shoes. We've got wheels on our shoes. So your wheels are going to be able to move so quickly and usually out of your control if you don't have the rest of your body in the right place. So as a very general rule, you want to kind of follow your nose when you're skating. You want your head out in front so that if you need to correct your body motions, like get to a nice knee bend to keep yourself from falling, you can. If you start worrying about what your feet are doing or trying to control your feet without putting your head, knees, torso, head, shoulders, torso, and knees in place, then you could just easily lose it and fall. Make sure when you fall, you're picking a cheek, you're going to one side. All right, into the moonwalk already. So with the moonwalk, start on one side. Get into a staggered stance. And on one side, the front foot, you're going to keep wheels. On the back foot, you're going to go to toe stop. Can you see me all right? Thumbs up if you can see me all right. All right. So the wheels start, the weight transfer starts in the front foot. Now, our knees are always bent in this, but our ankle is going to be straightened when we start. So straighten the ankle, make a flat line right here, but keep a micro bend in the knee. You're going to be on your toe stop on the back foot, and most of the weight is in the front foot. Now, you're going to be transferring the weight from the front foot to the back foot by pulling onto the toe stop, pulling this skate. You're going to put the weight into the toe stop by dragging this front foot towards. Okay. When you do this, you're going to straighten the knee. This one becomes bent, and then it switches. You're going to go toe stop to wheels after you go to your toe stop on the back foot here. Let's do that again. Start with the front foot in a micro bend. The foot that's got the toe stop down is always bent. You're going to pull the weight from this foot here. You're going to transfer it into the back foot toe stop, straighten the knee, and bring it as far back as you can reach. When it's as far as you can reach, you're going to put the toe stop down, switch to the wheels, and then you're going to do the same on this side. So the front foot, you're going to straighten the knee while the weight's here in the back toe stop. You're going to pull that front foot back as far as it will go while this one bends. And then you're gonna switch. Go to the toe stop on the back foot and the wheels on the front foot. I'm gonna turn around here for you. So start with the toe stop down. You're gonna drag the front foot past the back foot. Now the back foot has become the front foot, and you're gonna switch. Toe stop to wheels. Now this front foot, you're gonna straighten and pull back as far as it can go. Now the back foot's now the front foot in a nice knee bend, and you're gonna switch. Woo! Darn it. Make sure that your wheels are train tracks apart. They're not going into each other. So that's what I did right there. So back foot, toe stop is down. Front foot, you're gonna straighten. That takes the weight out of the front foot and puts it into the toe stop. Then you're gonna drag, pull back, and switch. Do we have it? Thumbs up if you got it. I'm gonna move these out of the way. Since I almost fell, I'm definitely going to put my helmet on. All right. We're going to start that moonwalk over again. So one foot is on the wheels, and the one foot is on the toe stop. The wheels foot is the front foot. The toe stop is the back foot. So you're going to start here. Okay, we're going to transfer the weight from the front foot to the back foot, toe stop. You're going to straighten the front foot knee, bring it all the way back as far as you can reach, and once you can't reach anymore, you're going to switch front foot to wheels, back foot to toe stop. Do that again. Okay. Now I'm going to do this direction, because I know this can be tricky, and you might want to, every brain is totally different, so I'm used to breaking it down a few different ways for everyone. All right, so the back foot is going to be on the toe stop here. The front foot is going to be in a nice knee bend to start out and on the wheels. So the weight starts on the front wheels. You put the toe stop down. Now you're going to transfer the weight from the front foot to the back foot, straightening the front foot and rolling it back as far as you can go. Then you go toe stop and wheels and switch. Now the front foot, you're going to straighten the knee, put the weight into the toe stop on the back foot, roll the front foot back and past the back foot, and then switch. I'm going to do that again. Back foot toe stop down, front foot all wheels. Put the weight into the back foot while you rock the body weight from the front to the back. You're going to straighten the front knee, bring it all the way back, and then switch. All right, hopefully we learn to moonwalk. All right, last skill we're going to learn right now is the toe stop spin. So there are 4 directions that you can do a toe stop spin. Just like in any other turn or spin, we're going to start by looking in the direction of this spin. So I'm going to start with my right because that's my natural side before I switch it to my unnatural side and show you that way. For the toe stop spin, you're going to put the toe stop down in the opposite way you're going to be turning. So I'm going to turn to the right first, so I'm going to put my left toe stop down. There's going to be a micro knee bend in both of my knees. So you can go, for a toe stop spin, you can go, which is back. So you can go back into the spin, or you can go forward, but we're going to start with back. So with the back, you look over your shoulder, and then you continuously move the spot while you've got the weight distributed evenly on the wheels and on the toe stop. Okay. You just get comfortable with feeling that weight shift and that weight distribution. So toe stop on one foot, which is in the center. This is the center of the spin. It's almost like you are what is it called? A compass. The circle drawers that you used in art class as a kid. So we are turning our bodies into a compass. And we're going to put the point down on the paper in the middle of the circle on the floor. And then we're going to draw with the pencil, which is our other foot. We're going to look, continuously looking over that right shoulder as we spin it. Okay, and you'll be pivoting on the toe stop. Now, if we wanted to go the other direction, we would look over the opposite shoulder, okay, and look at this one here. Good. So we can go back with the right. We can go forward with the left. Or we could switch it, and we could go back with the left and forward with the right. Does everyone see how there's 4 variations? Okay, maybe it was confusing switching right and left, so I'll just do both right. So when you're going over the right shoulder, you put the left toe stop down, looking in the right, and drawing the circle behind you. If I wanted to go forward, I would switch the toe stops, and I would go forward with the outside foot wheels. Okay, if I wanted to go left, I'd put my left toe stop down. If I wanted to go left back, I would put my right toe stop down and draw the circle with my left pencil. Okay, if I wanted to go forward to the left, I'd put the toe stop down on my left side. I'd look over the left shoulder and go forward. Okay, now the fun part is changing your levels. So once you pick your favorite one, so there's 4 of them, you can go forward or backward, right or left direction. I really like to go right back, so like this. And my toe stop spins, it pivots. It doesn't spin because it's fastened on there really good, but it pivots on the ground. So there's enough weight onto it that my ankle is free to move. So this ankle here and these wheels are driving the spin as I anchor my toe stop down. When you change levels is when it looks really good. Like Abominatrix, one of my teammates, does an awesome toe stop spin. And they like really make this wide. Oops. I kicked my frame wheel. Okay, so it looks like this. You can bend that knee or you can straighten it. Abom likes to straighten it. It looks so sick. Okay. You can also go the other direction. I didn't get a great start. But the lower they are, I think they look I don't know, I think they're more styled out the lower they are. So you can use these toe stops, pivoting on the toe stops, as an anchor. You can also bend the knee and get low. And this is a good segue into the sit spin, which we're not going to do right now, but you can bend the knee, pivoting on that toe stop. You'll see my arms are up in alignment with my shoulders here for balance. All right, and that was the toe stop spins. I'm going to check the chat and see if anybody has any questions. Thanks for hanging in. Cool. Okay. All right. Thanks so much for chatting me. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, I have 4 great questions, and then after this, so that I guess I'm a slow thinker, reader, and I'm going to answer 4 to 5 questions, and then I'm going to go back and individually answer them all. So after this, after I exit the camera, I'm going to go and comment on all the questions. So Haley asked about the mindset. How do I get a good mindset about falling? And I'll put some suggestions of some inspirational speakers that we like to listen to. You really, when you don't want to fall, you don't want to think don't fall. You want to think go. But you really want to practice being comfortable falling. So how you do that is by, yes, I saw someone had commented, I think squats are going to be my best friend. Skating is incredible for your mind and your body. Like, everything's going to change. If you're having a good time and mixing life with having a better time all the time, you will feel so good in your body and your mind. And falling, you just want to get as comfortable to the ground as possible, because falling is falling on the floor. You don't want to put your hands behind you. Put your hands in front of you. And you want to fall to all your soft bits, your natural soft parts. So when you're starting out, we don't know how to fall, so you want to put all the pads on all your knobs. That's why they're made there, because we don't have natural padding on our elbows, on our wrists, on our knees. But we do have padding on our side body and on our glutes. So we want to get as close to the floor as possible. Okay, pick a cheek. Don't go to your tailbone. Put your hands out in front of you, and then let your wheels roll in front of you. To get up, we did do a beginner's video last week. To get up, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we go more into detail on that video. So just think, practice falling. Practice falling just like that as much as you possibly can. And then when you fall, just think, hug myself and get as low as I possibly can, putting my feet in front of me and picking a side. The more you fall, the more comfortable you're going to be with falling. And then when you're more comfortable with falling, then you can go more. Okay, what do I do if I have a bad fit? I saw someone had mentioned that they had a bad fit, and they asked their local skate shop, and the skate shop had said, put some lamb's wool in there. When I was a little kid, my parents used to buy my skates 2 sizes too big so that I could grow into them, so that we didn't have to buy skates every 6 months. So I get it, I understand, but if you are stuck with this issue, my best suggestion would be to find someone on Instagram that wants to buy yours back, or so that you can trade them in for a new pair. We do have a return policy. If you did get the wrong size, don't skate in them, call us up, and we'll swap them out for you. But it's very important that you have a snug fit. They should be snug in the balls of your feet. Now, the leather is going to stretch if you have the leather skates. And you want your toes to be very snug and secure in the toe box. Okay, Talon asked, pardon me if I'm not saying this correctly. Talon asked, are you switching your lead foot when you're turning? And there's no right or wrong way to skate. As long as you're feeling good and having fun, like in my opinion, that's the right way to skate. There's no right or wrong way to do anything. I've seen so many people drop in with their right foot and then lead with their left, or there's no general rule to how to skate. So the safest way is to get your body, this is the way that I teach, is get your body positioned and balanced in the right direction so that your wheels will follow. So if you try to control your arms, synchronize your arms with your feet when you're running, it doesn't work out. Your arms are going to naturally match the opposing knee as you're running. And it's the same thing when you're skating. or when you're jumping and turning. You get your head and shoulders in the right direction for a good solid land, and then you land in a knee bend. And you'll see that when you land, so if I do a 90-degree turn, you'll see they wiggle on the land. They wiggle a little bit. So your natural stance you're going to find a natural stance, and you're never going to land exactly the way that you set out to, because you're on wheels. I hope that, in short, Taylin, be most concerned about your head, shoulders, knees. Your skates will follow. Your skates will go in the right direction. There's no right or wrong way to skate. The next question comes from Harper, and Harper asked, do you have any tips for jumping high, for clearing higher obstacles? And I definitely do. So if you wanted to clear, so speed is your friend when you're trying to jump high and with distance. To get high, you want to practice your jumps. So I have a soft foam step that I jump onto, and before I go skate the rail in the driveway, I jump onto that thing 30 times before I size up the rail and decide whether I'm comfortable jumping on it today. Our bodies change from day to day. This is another really important thing to know as a skater or anyone getting into a new exercise or a new practice. If you practice something every day, you will learn that your body changes every day, depending on how much water you drank that morning, how much sleep you got. I know this from handstands. I love going upside down, and I love practicing handstands every single day. I handstand every day, and every day it's different. Sometimes I can go up on the first go, and I'm always surprised. Sometimes it takes me 4 donkey kicks before I can go upside down. So your body's changing all the time. So whether or not you're prepared to jump high or jump far really depends on the day. So that's why it's important that you have a good warm-up. What I liked to do when I first learned to jump far, like if you're jumping a gap, is to start small, and then I would get a running start. And you know what I like to do? Parking lots. So there's no gap at all. There's lines in the parking lot for parking spaces. And I would jump at the beginning and see how far close I could get to that line until I would work my way up to jumping from line to line. So then I would measure it with my feet. 1, 2, 3, 4 skates. I would know that I could jump a gap 4 skates wide. Hopefully that helps you. So you want to learn things on the flat and then measure things so that you can apply it to obstacles out in the wheel world. All right, and the last question I'm going to answer is, do you have any tips for 360s? Absolutely. 360s are my favorite thing to teach, and there's no better time than now to show you my hack to the 360. Just like the 180 turn, you're going to find a spot. So I've got you, and I have this leopard printed spot right here. You really want to know which way is natural for you, because 360 is definitely an intermediate skill, not an intermediate beginner skill, but an intermediate level skill, or an advanced beginner skill. I'm covering 180 degrees here. What I like to do is trick my brain into thinking I'm only jumping this 180 degrees. So I like to put my head on a head start and look at 180 degrees first. Now, it's really important that you are head, knees, and toes in alignment. So your eyes start 180 degrees. This is just to start the 360s, by the way. This is a lot to do if you were doing it with momentum. But now, I'm not going to put my feet down until I see that spot again, but from this direction. So I can see my El Camino over here that you can't see. But if I went another 90 degrees, there would be this spot. So I'm going to look 180 degrees behind myself. Don't do this if you're not ready. This is just for those that are ready for the 360. So I'm going to I see the El Camino in the corner, which is 270 degrees away from where my toes are pointed. And I'm gonna jump and not put my feet down until I see this spot. I'm also gonna use my arms for momentum and go in that direction. See that? So then my toes jumped 360 degrees. So turn, look behind yourself. Nice, generous knee bend. You're gonna jump into the air and don't put your feet down till you see the spot. Let's go in the other direction. So if you jump to the left, you're gonna get your head on a head start, looking 180 degrees ahead of yourself. Okay, and you're gonna process the images this direction only. So your head already turned 180. You're gonna jump until you see this spot. So the trick here, the hack is, do not put your feet down until you see the land. Leave in a generous knee bend. And this also works for 540s. So if I was doing a 540, I would start by looking at the camera, and I'm not going to land until I see the camera again, because the camera would be 360 degrees. Oh! Let's do it again. Almost. All right, I'm gonna have to land that one for the actual 360 hack video. Okay, I'm gonna put that, that music on again. If you have any other last questions, I'm gonna go on there and answer them. Hopefully all those tips helped you, intermediate skaters, and next week I'm going to be doing another one. Thanks so much for coming. Enjoy your night and the rest of your quarantine days. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna call you where you wanna hang out. Love you.